Josh, we're going to start this episode a little differently. A little more fun, all right? We're Penguins fans. We deserve a little fun. And how we're going to have fun is play the word game, Josh. All right, for those of you who don't know what the word game is, it's pretty simple. Two people play. You say one word at the same time. I don't know what Josh's word is. Josh doesn't know what my word is. And after we say our word, we then have to find the common thing until we both say the same word. All right? And let's see how little we have to talk, like how many rounds we don't have to do. Does that make sense? The least amount of rounds win.
Well, yeah.
All right? Are you ready?
Okay, I got a word.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Dog.
Watch.
Dog watch.
Watchdog?
Okay.
Dog watch. Dog watch. Watchdog. Watchdog.
Dog.
Watchdog.
Okay. Ready? Okay.
No.
Ready?
No.
Are you
Watchdog?
with me?
I'm not.
3,
Watchdog.
2,
Watchdog.
1. Fence.
Crime.
Okay.
Fence and
so
crime.
Fence and crime.
Fence and crime. Fence and
Are
crime.
you with me?
I don't know.
Are you with me?
I don't know. Fence and crime.
3, 2, 1. Jail.
Jail.
Yeah! We got it. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Okay. All right, that was good. That was 3 rounds. Not bad.
That was, yeah.
My mic is spiking over here. Okay.
I'm trying to think of stuff. I'm trying to think of things. Think of words.
3, 2, 1. Water.
Nail.
Water and nail.
Water and nail. Nail water.
I don't know if we're going to be on the same page on this one. Ready? Here we go. 3,
Nail
2,
water.
1.
Glue.
Saw.
It's a liquid that binds
Liquid
things.
nails. That's what you were going with?
Glue.
Okay.
Glue.
Okay.
All right, so
anyway,
glue. And what did you do?
glue and saw.
Saw.
Saw. I didn't nail and glue.
See, like glue holds together, saw breaks
Saw
apart.
cuts it. So we're this is not going to go well. This is not going well. So what's the thing in common between
I think
saw
I got something,
and nail?
but we'll see.
And glue and saw.
Let's see. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
3, 2, 1.
Wood.
Rip. Josh, that was good. Wood and rip.
Wood.
Which
and
I
rip.
think it has to be an object. If I'm,
Yeah.
I did a verb. Okay.
All right, we'll get it back.
So rip
wood.
and wood.
Rip wood.
Rip and wood.
Rip wood.
I guess it's
Rip wood.
Josh. Oh, jeez.
All right,
3,
let's go.
2, 1. Pliers.
Chainsaw.
Where am I going with this? Okay. That was good. Chainsaw and pliers. Okay.
Dear God. Okay, tools.
Chainsaw and
Okay.
pliers. Oh,
We got some.
ready? I'm just going to throw one at you. Let's see if we get
Here we
it.
go.
3, 2, 1. Hammer.
Wrench.
Okay. All right. It's fine. It's fine. Wrench and hammer. Here we go. Josh, lock in.
God. Okay.
Lock in. 3, 2, 1. Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Yes! 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 All right, we need redemption. One more.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah. Okay.
We need redemption,
All right.
Josh.
All right. Fair enough.
We need redemption.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Gloves.
Pool. Pool gloves.
Pool and gloves.
Pool gloves. So water
Wait.
gloves. Water gloves. No, not water. Pool.
A pool. Pool gloves.
Chlorine. Diving board.
Gloves.
Gloves. All right. Here we
All
go.
right.
Water gloves.
Well, I don't. Okay,
Pool gloves.
ready?
Pool gloves.
3, 2, 1. Swimsuit.
Swim trunks. I don't think
Did we
that
get
works.
it?
No,
Come
because
on.
your swimsuits, mine is swim trunks.
But what's the common denominator with that? It's the same.
No, we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Because I'm at swim
How?
trunks. You're at swimsuit. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Speedo.
Shorts. They're both shorts, Lewis. They're both shorts.
Swimsuit's not.
A swimsuit is.
No, because a woman's swimsuit. I was thinking like, what can I?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking. I was just thinking guys swimsuits and swim
But
trunks.
swimsuits.
They're
It's
both
swim
shorts.
trunks. Oh, so you're shorts and I have speedo. Oh! Lock in. Speedo and shorts. Are you ready?
No.
3, 2, 1. Boxers.
Beach boxers.
It was right there, Josh.
Beach
it was right
boxers.
there.
No, it really wasn't.
What do you mean, speedo in shorts?
Yeah.
Boxers.
You know,
dude. All right.
Okay, you know
here we go.
Speedo's a brand, right? Okay. All right.
I think we all know what I say when I say I'm talking about the the male thong kind of thing.
All right. So we're at
Okay.
shorts. No, we're at beach.
Shorts. Beach and boxers.
Beach and boxers. Oh my gosh. Beach and
Wait.
boxers.
So
No.
if you think Okay, here we go. Josh, I don't know if this is a stretch. 3, 2, 1. Bikini.
Mesh. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm trying to.
What do you mean?
The
What
mesh-
do you mean?
the mesh inside-
What's mesh?
The mesh inside the swimsuit. This.
You have to find something in common between beach
Beach and boxers.
and boxers. I was like, okay, what do you wear at the beach? That's somewhat
Bikini. But that's not.
would
boxers.
some would consider hold on, would someone consider
Underwear.
undergarment?
I understood.
Bikini.
Understood. All right, so we got mesh bikini.
Wait,
No.
here we go. Mesh and bikini. Lock in. 3, 2,
You know,
1.
I got nothing. I
String.
got nothing. Surfboard. I got nothing. You're just asking me to throw out words at this point.
That's the whole point of the game.
But you're not even giving me a chance to think.
Okay.
All right.
Josh, it's like 12 rounds right now. Okay, you got
String.
surfboard and string. Okay.
No.
Josh,
How do you got a connection?
you know what? I'm going to help you
String.
along to get this over with.
String.
String, surfboard, theme of a beach. Some people bring this to a beach. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, guitar.
Kite. Oh.
Why? Why?
The string that goes up to the kite.
kite and a guitar. Here we go. Josh, we were so good. Oh, kite and a guitar. Kite and a guitar.
Kite and a guitar.
I would now say string. I would now say string.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be an object. It can't be like flight or, something like that.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, Josh is going to be terrible. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
No, campfire.
And I was going to say pick. Like a guitar pick.
Pick.
So, campfire and pick. Now can we use a word we used before?
What guitar? No.
Okay, but Josh, I'm going to help you out again. Campfire.
Pick.
Forget this. You use a pick to hit a guitar. What are guitars made out of? 3, 2, 1. Wood. Oh, thank God.
We were close, though. I almost said stick.
So. I almost said log. So I was just... I was like, wood.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
one more. Can we do one more to kind of cleanse the palate? Okay.
Oh God.
All right, ready? 3.
Hold on.
2.
Hold on. I gotta think of something.
Josh, you're surrounded by items. 3.
Yes, I know.
2, 1. Flag.
Shoe
Flag. Shoe.
Shoe flag.
Shoe.
Flag.
Okay.
Shoe flag.
3.
Shoe flag. Flag shoe.
You're not trying to create a word.
I'm trying to get something that links them.
Shoe flag.
Shoe, you run. Flag, you fly.
Wave. So kite again? Is that what you're gonna go at?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. I feel like we're not gonna get this one, but it's okay. 3, 2, 1. Fabric.
Track and field. Oh God. Shooting a flag, track and field.
You know what?
You're wearing
feel like that
shoes.
was maybe that was on me.
Flag when you
that
win.
was on me. That was. I think that was
you.
on me. I think that was on me. Okay, so we have fabric
and track and field.
Maybe, Josh, can we do it? I have a word. 3, 2, 1. Uniform.
Uniforms.
Hey!
Okay.
Let's go, Josh. We're never playing that again. That was so good, good. Wow.
Oh boy,
man. Gosh, we're so good.
It's Crosby on Trinity shot. Penguins win it.
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
They're a collective.
Welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast. My name is Louie.
my name is Josh.
And we usually go live after every single Penguins game, but not today. Today is our weekly episode where we talk about all things Pittsburgh Penguins. And the first and most recent news is that Christopher Letang has just gotten surgery for a small hole in his heart.
Yeah, so apparently it's been talked about for a while. Mike Sullivan went out in front of the press and said that it was a joint effort among his team, like medical personnel,
Right.
and family and all that stuff. And it was just weird, like the way he phrased it was that he's had it for a while, but because he's banged up, they decided to do it now. And it's wait, so this isn't something you do just if you're healthy and you get it, like if you have a hole in your heart and you're healthy, you just let it go. But if you're banged up, you get it repaired. I was a little confused. And I'm not going to try and pretend to be a doctor, but it seems like they did this procedure, I don't know, maybe yesterday or the day before, because he's already at the practice facility today hanging out with Carlson. So maybe not as invasive as it sounds. I think it's serious regardless, but I don't, because he's not going to play in the game, the season finale against Washington. But I guess it's a quick recovery. 4 to 6 weeks is the expected, recovery time, but he's on his feet already, sounds like. But
yeah,
I mean, kudos to him.
Well, yeah, we were talking about it before we went live, and it's just kind of like, isn't there like a longer time period? And how quick can you get that surgery? It was just very all of a sudden, Today, as Mike Sullivan went up in front of press and said he had surgery, and we were all like, didn't know this was planned, didn't know this was going to happen. Was there a reason why it was rushed and couldn't wait until after Thursday? Was there a reason why he had to get it done? And those are just my questions, but it seems like he's fine and it was all successful. He's going to have a recovery time. We're not going to see him on Thursday. 4 to 6, he's going to be back plenty in time. He's going to be back in plenty of time for the next season. So next camp, all that stuff. So he'll be back to tip-top shape. But, Josh, you bring up a really good question that was off there. Maybe is this kind of a wake-up call for Chris Letang? He's getting older. He wasn't really producing. He's had a heart surgery before. No, not
strokes before.
Strokes before. I'm so sorry. Yes, he's had strokes before, health problems. He's had concussions. Now there is a surgery on his heart, which I'm sure takes a toll on the body. You had a thought.
Yeah, just interesting to see if we officially saw the last of Chris Letang in a Penguins uniform, which as a average Joe, to go through 2 strokes, multiple concussions, heart surgery, yeah, dude, like, I think your time is done. But also at the same time, as a competitive person, someone who loves the game of hockey, I can see him coming back. Yeah. It'll be a long conversation with his family and with his team, doctors, agent, nutritionist, whatever he's got. It's going to be a lot of conversations, and we'll see what happens. The good thing is that the off season is long for us because we're not in the playoffs. So our off season, officially starts I should say Chris Letang's off season officially starts. So we'll see. I don't know. It's just a thought, because honestly, to me, that sounds like a serious surgery.
Yeah. Maybe we're just not knowledgeable in it. Yeah. Which we're not. Cause it's heart surgery.
Yeah. Oh, you don't dabble with that on the weekend?
Yeah, I you know what? That's not what I do in my spare time. Actually, I usually maybe brain surgery, but not heart. Not heart. Usually, I dabble in the brain surgery. But I just like 4 to 6 weeks, and all of a sudden, that's my biggest thing. Like, yeah, recovery time, cool. That makes sense. He's an athlete. He's in great shape. It all makes sense. But why all of a sudden? No one really kind of expounded on that.
The way Mike Sullivan sounded was that it hasn't been all of a sudden, but they felt like this was the appropriate time to do it.
Which is weird to announce he had successful surgery, which I'm assuming he had surgery on Tuesday. the April
Monday?
15th or Monday, coming back after a game, immediately after a game, but they are in Pittsburgh, so it does make sense. But you would think maybe so. We're predicting maybe Monday, Tuesday surgery. Now he's healthy. We announce it on Wednesday. Game on Thursday. Why couldn't we push it a week? That's my only thing. Is like, what? Like, you know, it's a long off season. And if you feel like, oh, this is the time to do it, why? Was there an issue? Did they find something? And that's my curious. Like, that's my fear. Of course, I would like to see Chris Letang play longer. He's been a staple in Pittsburgh. You don't want to see a guy's career end because of health issues. You want it to end because he's come to terms, hey, maybe I'm not playing as well. Maybe I'm just I don't have the heart in it anymore. It's very hard. I have a family. I want to take care of them. You want those reasons to be why a guy retires. Never a guy who gets forced to retirement. Always sucks. You know, you look at Mario Lemieux, prime example. Man, sucks that he got forced out, because imagine if he didn't. He would be the greatest player of all time. Which he is arguably still one of the greatest players of all time. But imagine if he had the stats to back it up. So it's just stuff like that where you're like, oh man, that stinks. Now listen, I have been very critical of Chris Letang over the last multiple seasons. I think we should have never re-signed him, looking back onto that Hextall extension. But hindsight's 2020. At the time I said, yeah, keep the band together. It would be great. It's fun. But now, watching Malkin and Letang kind of not produce where we wanted them to produce, it's easy to go back in time and say, yeah, don't re-sign them. Let them go try to chase cups.
Of course.
But anyway, I've been very critical of Chris Letang. Never want to see a guy end his career early because of health. So I hope everything is fine. Everything's great. I also am a little selfish in this moment because I'm like, maybe retire, because then it would help the Penguins out. You know, like, hey, I understand.
Yeah.
Health comes first. You never want to see a guy, you know, you see some scary things in hockey world, like the guy who fainted and, you know, on the bench and all that stuff, and heart issues are very, very finicky. Don't like that. Never want to see that happen. That's too much. So what I'm saying is maybe hang it up before it gets to that. You know, like, you never want to see that happen. Also, selfish reason, Penguins need room on defense. Great career. 19 seasons?
19 seasons. Yeah.
19 seasons?
Because I think
Great
he's
career.
one behind Crosby
Now,
and 2 behind Malkin.
so either way, we hope Letang is fine. We hope he has a speedy recovery. Is it time for Chris Letang to hang it up? I think even if he was completely healthy and he didn't just have heart surgery, maybe consider it. Only because he's not playing well. Yes, he's had points in the season. I'm sure everyone is typing right now, yeah, but his stats still... Maybe. All I'm saying is they're getting old. The new era of Penguins players are coming through. And if this is just a small variable to retire for Chris Letang, then let him retire. But I want to transition into, unless you had something else to add to about the health.
Nope.
I wanted to transition it into something that I saw on the Steve Dangle podcast, Josh, where they talked about, is Chris Letang a Hall of Famer? And there were some doubts on that podcast. There was, one person. His name is not Jesse. I don't know.
I don't
Sorry?
know the people's names.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Steve Dangle because his name after.
Yeah.
But so we need 2 other guys. I'm just going to say Jesse or whatever. He said Chris Letang does belong in the Hall of Fame, and the other 2 disagreed. or at least made jokes that, like, yeah, but that means other people get in the Hall of Fame. We have had a previous conversation on this podcast about how we need to make the Hall of Fame important again, and we need to make the Hall of Fame a more prestigious honor. Chris Letang has done many great things. He is a very good player in the National Hockey League. No one can take that away from him. Josh, you have a very strict view on the Hall of Fame.
I do.
Does Chris Letang make the Hall of Fame in your eyes? Not in the NHL's eyes.
Yeah.
In your eyes.
So I'm answering it two-part. So will he get into the Hockey Hall of Fame? Yes. Is he in mine? I don't know. As a Penguins fan, I want him in.
Sure.
But it's just like you think about it in terms of like my criteria of can you tell the game of hockey without him?
Right.
And I feel like you can. Like you can totally talk about his entire era without him. And that's like kind of my point with Shea Weber. Like, cause like he's now up for the Hall of Fame. And obviously he doesn't have the 3 cups behind him like Chris Letang does. But I feel like you can tell Chris Letang's story. I'm sorry, you can tell the story of those 3 cups without Chris Letang. And I'm not saying that he wasn't like crucial or important to those cups, but I don't know if it's Hall of Fame. And like I'm thinking like, okay, you're going to put in there that those 3 are the longest tenured teammates in
all time,
major sports all time. So not just hockey.
Yeah.
So does that mean you just allow him in anyway? And to me, I kind of just think that's his spot in the Hall of Fame. Like
because of the tenured.
Yes.
Hey, how you can't tell the story of the longest tenured teammates, obviously, without Chris Letang.
But does he get like I don't know what they do in hockey. Do they get a bust? Do they get a plaque? Like I don't know if he gets.
I don't know.
I don't know if he gets one of those, but his name will be mentioned in Hall of Fame stories.
Not only that, I think anyone who has their name on the Stanley Cup should be looked at. Now, granted, looked at is different from getting nominated, getting into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Because your name is etched in glory forever. Even if you were on the Black Aces getting called up from Wilkes-Barre, you helped the team win. Jeff Zatkoff's name is on the Stanley Cup. Okay, let's all remember that.
I always go to Tom Kuhnackel.
Or Tom Kuhnackel, Josh. Their names are on the Stanley Cup, And no one could take that away from him. No one. No one, Josh.
Exactly.
No one could take that away from Tom Kuhnackel. No one could take that away. It's on the Stanley Cup. So, great example. You look at Tom Kuhnackel. You look at the list of names who's etched in glory, and you go, is he Hall of Fame? No. Okay, moving on. And that's literally, but you have to have that conversation, whoever is on the Stanley Cup. Because they're on the Stanley Cup. And you're not on the Stanley Cup. I'm not on the Stanley Cup. Guess what? Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, not on the Stanley Cup right now. Now, can they make the Hall of Fame without it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Look at Henrik Lundqvist. Very great goaltender. Arguably one of the greatest modern-day goaltenders. Didn't get a Stanley Cup. But it all starts at the Stanley Cup, where you look down and go, who's won it? Who determines it? Chris Letang's name is on that 3 times. So you have to look at that and go, he clearly did something right.
Yep.
But here's my thing. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, first ballot Hall of Famers. If not, there are talks of Sidney Crosby and Ovechkin they're lifting, making an exemption for them because of how they changed the game.
Yeah.
And
Hockey
to your
was dead
credit,
in 05. Hockey was dead in 05.
Hockey was dead in 05. They were not sure about the future of the league. They knew they were going to get something done, but not sure when the next lockout was going to be. Along came this rivalry between a kid in Russia and a kid in Canada. Saved the league. You cannot tell the story of hockey without Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin. I'm just talking hockey, not even the NHL. They changed, they revolutionized the game. You can't take that away from them. Chris Letang did not. Okay? Chris Letang played within the system. Malkin played within the system. Now, was good at it. They were great at it, but they played within the system. Crosby changed it. Ovechkin changed it. So you have your 3 tiers. Crosby, exemption, automatically into the Hall of Fame if he decided to retire tomorrow. Then you have Malkin, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I think we all can agree. First ballot Hall of Famer. He has the accolades. He has the cups. He has scoring titles. Got to give it to him. Chris Letang. He has some accolades and the cups. But if you're looking at the litter of the trifecta of the Penguins, he's the runt of the litter. Crosby being the golden child. Malkin being the middle child who always does great but always seems to be overlooked. I'm sure you can relate, Josh.
Wow, thanks.
With that. With that. I called you great. I just said you get overlooked. Okay? You can relate with that. Then you have you got
Yeah.
Now, when I put it like this, everyone's going to be like, no way, he's a first. But when you think about it,
Yeah.
Letang would be nothing without Malkin and Crosby helping him out. Because if we're being even more honest, they would be nothing without Sid. Because Sid, I feel like, is the guy to be like, hey, we're together. We're a team.
Malkin, I can see him being somewhere else and dominating. For sure.
No. I'm talking about just staying in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Just staying in Pittsburgh.
For sure. Yeah,
Sid's being the one like, hey, come here. Come here. We're all going to be here together. Just like in Pat McAfee. Crosby could have taken the spotlight, went up on stage by himself. But no. He had to invite his boys. Because if we're going to celebrate Pittsburgh, Crosby's like, you can't forget about Malkin and Letang. And that's just Sid, and that's why we love Sid. But anyway, this is about Letang. Letang, if it wasn't for Crosby, he'd be all over the league. He would be like a Carlson. Very good. Great defender. But he would find himself in different areas. He would be a great long-tenured Penguin. Maybe he doesn't re-sign with Hextall if it wasn't for Crosby and Malkin. Maybe he goes off to another struggling team who needs a veteran presence.
Montreal.
Maybe, Montreal goes back home. Stuff like that, where I could see him being then a journeyman after the long tenured Penguins. Yeah, I think so. So. Anyway.
He's not that bad.
Well, that's debatable. I'm talking about right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the point. All that being said, I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he is getting into the Hall of Fame, but he is one of those guys who won't be talked about for maybe 20 years after he retires.
Yeah.
To then be inducted into Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean, he'll be the type that's always talked about, like, I don't know, like, this is going to sound horrible. I'm trying to think of, like, who in that, like, 91-92 team for Pittsburgh. Like, Ron Francis? But, like, Ron Francis was still, like, really
He's phenomenal.
Player. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like, it's hard.
I was like, okay.
It's hard. It's hard to see who that, like, third guy is in Pittsburgh in 91-92. You know, because when you start rattling off names, it's like those guys are Hall of Famers. And it's like, granted, we have recency bias right now where we're looking at Letang with what he's done lately. And yes, it's not pretty. So it shades and fogs our perspective.
That's fair.
Like you
That's
said,
fair.
Step back 3 to 5 years, and this is why they have that period. This is why they have that.
Yeah.
You take that time, you reflect on the longevity of the career, the totality of the career, and you say, oh yeah, okay, that's a Hall of Fame career. That guy was great. That guy was elite. And you can say all of that about Chris Letang. Like, I don't want, like, it did kind of get taken, like, my standard of Hall of Fame is my opinion on what they'll actually do in the Hall of Fame. Then no, like, Chris Letang's going in the Hall of Fame. Okay?
Oh yeah,
like,
I think we both can agree on that. Yeah.
Whoever's saying he isn't is wrong, because again, you look at any multi-cup winners in NHL history, they're pretty much all in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, like you said, like if it's like some guy who was barely a starter and just,
Tom Kunak
played a few games and, got the rings, sure, they're not going to be in there. But I mean, 19 plus seasons, over 1,000 games. I mean, I don't know where he's at with points, but I'm sure he's up there. An impactful player, revolutionized, a lot of the, like, he's a part of that shift where defensemen were just defensemen. They just stayed back. They didn't collect points. It was exciting when they did, Right. He was a part of that revolution where it was like, no, we're on the ice. We're going to score. We're a part of the game. Like, use us as a
defenseman could pinch that well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he was a part of that. So I think he will be in. I just don't want my personal record book to impact that. And lastly, on Chris Letang, and then we can move on, I just want to end by saying we were going to talk about this portion, the Steve Dangle portion, regardless. Okay? I don't want the surgery and everything that just happened to oh, this is why we're talking about this. No.
No.
This was...
It was just a good transition.
Yes. Yeah, so it was just something that was already on the docket, and we just said, okay, let's put the Chris Letang surgery thing at the top.
No need to defend yourself. We're good storytellers.
I'm just saying.
Okay, we take current events and we apply them to what we're already talking about, and if it just so happens to coincide, then it does. All right? Yep. Now, I mean, we could end the podcast here. Like, it really could. It was a great episode. We're talking about Chris Letang. It's really good. Now, granted, before you start yelling at us, all right, because we've been getting a lot of that recently on our episodes. Yeah. Listen, we think Chris Letang is a Hall of Famer. Like, that's for sure. And I don't want you to be like, runt of the litter? I can't believe Louie said something like that. And I'm just like, all right, relax. Maybe that's too harsh of words. But I'm not wrong. Like, I mean, you got Sid, Gino, and like, just look at their points total. You're gonna be like, man, that guy's really underperforming. If I didn't tell you he was a defenseman or whatever, and you just looked at it and you're like, man, that guy's severely underperforming under Malkin. And and you're just like, I'm like, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not saying he's not good. He's phenomenal in his prime. Holy crap. It was kind of like him, Carlson, these older defensemen, Shea Weber, these guys that were like Joe Thornton, these defensemen that were like scary to play against because you didn't know they were so good. They were the Cale Makar. But they all shared the same kind of mentality. Now, Cale Makar is a different animal now. I know what you're going to say. He's very good. And the reason why he's very good right now, and we're only talking about him because there's only one of them. Now, back in Chris Letang's time, we had Erik Karlsson. We had other guys. There was a handful of guys that were like two-way defensemen, and that was those, and they all had long, beautiful hair, and now they just so happen to play together. But it was just, it was literally like that. Like you would say, oh, you got Letang on the Penguins. Oh, you got Carlson on the Sens. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you had those guys. Now Cale Makar is in a league of his own because no one could skate like him. We're looking at the very first forward skating defenseman. And I'm not just talking about a two-way. I'm talking like just the way he skates is dominating.
But just to touch on Makar, just because he's mesmerizing to watch.
You love Makar. I know you love
I
Makar.
love him so much. But he can literally, if he does not score another point, he is still so impactful defensively. Like, his defensive game still puts him in an elite category. So it's like, even if you just isolate each thing, he's in elite category. So then now, guess what you get to do? You put it together, and that's what makes him so great. And it's like, and the only, gripe I will say with him is just that, like, I think
you have a gripe against Cale Makar?
Yeah, I think it's just because of his youthfulness. Like, he just, like, he turns it off sometimes.
Yeah, like,
doesn't.
So
he just
I will see.
It's like he's bored sometimes.
I know they were trying to focus on the skating, like the literal technique of his skating. But I saw, like, watch Cale Makar's shift. So they just had the camera on Cale Makar. Didn't care about what was going on. Just Cale Makar. And I was like, he does turn it off. He'll come in and he'll just skate. Just
hang
glide.
Out. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he does turn it on. And you're like, whoa, speed is shot out of a cannon. Like crazy speed. And then all of a sudden he's just like, I'm like, you're in the defensive zone. Do something little. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're like, whoa. And that's what makes players great. It's not about, it's what they do in the moments, right? So, obviously, he has done that, and he looks good.
That's why I say if he just constantly plays on. I get it. That is so hard to do for 82 games, 60 minutes, especially for someone like Makar, who's like playing like 20-something minutes a game. I get it. Like, that's hard to do. To play on the entire time. But he could be what Carlson was supposed to be. And Carlson's got 3 Norris trophies. Okay? Like,
I mean, that's
Carlson
true.
still technically didn't hit his hype. And he still has 3 Norris trophies.
I don't know. I think he hit his hype. I think they were questioning how long will it last. And because
that's fair.
Carlson Makar is a different animal. No one's talking about Carlson's skating techniques. Everyone's just saying, like, wow, he's a great two-way defenseman. And that's unbelievable. He's playing really well. And that was just like the norm. Now it's like, oh my goodness, Cale Makar can probably outskate McDavid. In fact, that's when I noticed him. Like, now, obviously, Avs fans loved him ever since he came. The NHL was talking about it. It's not like I'm saying, like, oh, I noticed this kid before he was good. Everyone knew he was going to be good. I'm in Penguin La La Land. And then I saw an Avs Oiler game. And I saw McDavid do McDavid thing where he just skates hard and he enters in the zone. And he usually beats the defenseman 9 times out of 10.
Is this when Makar's on his hip and he just lifts the stick and takes the puck?
And I was like, that dude just made it look like McDavid is slow.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hold on, let me rewind that. So if you watch him, both of them shot out of a cannon. Because you could tell, because the other players are like, whoa, what's happening? Like, oh, McDavid's in the zone. And then you're just watching Cale Makar just come alongside him and then just push him away. And you're without taking a penalty, without doing anything, being a great defenseman. And he lifts the stick, puck goes the other way, and you could tell McDavid was like, what the frick is this? Yeah. Like, usually I'm solo here. I'm getting
I think that was this year, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was this year or last year. All I remember, I saw that clip and I just go, that dude's good. Like even if whatever, like you said, He's just a good defenseman. He knows how to keep up. So Cale Makar is in a league of his own 100%. Any team would be, I don't know. Any team would be grateful to have a Cale Makar, even if they didn't have a Nathan McKinnon, which I'm mad that no one's talking about Nathan McKinnon because he's dominating the league right now, and no one's talking about it.
That's true. He probably should win the
Art Ross.
Art Ross. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Avs are just, they're the 16-17 Penguins right now.
Yeah.
Well, not the 16, because 16 was rough halfway through. But I'm talking about the dominating year of the 16-17 year, where we knew we were going to win. There was a difference walking in when you're playing the Penguins, and it's the same way with the Avs. You know you're going to lose, because it's just, they're fast, and they could skate, and they have this rallying mentality, and man, are the Avs good. Nathan McKinnon gets appreciation, but everyone loves Connor McDavid because of the flash. Wow, he's so fast. Wow, he scores. Meanwhile, McKinnon has the most points in the league. And no one's talking about it, you know? That's like ignoring LeBron James to focus on Steph Curry's three-pointers.
It's happened.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, yeah, but he's not putting up the same points. It's like, yeah, but look at his shot. It's so cool. And it's like, all right. Okay. Like, that's cool. That's great. Where's he in points? Oh, he's actually like 5th in points. It's like, oh, okay. Who's number 1? Oh, the guy who did it last year as well, by the way. I just want to say, same guy. He's dominating the league. Oh, all right. Okay, cool. Maybe we should talk about him. Meanwhile, Crosby is chilling in the top 10. Anyway, we're not about that. But all I'm saying is it's very hard to have someone like Cale Makar, and I think we did have that with Chris Letang. Josh, I'm tying it all back. Just buckle up.
I know. I was letting you to get there.
We had our Cale Makar, which was Chris Letang. He was a two-way defenseman. He did what he had to do. Now the question is, he's old. We'll see what the future brings, as long as he's healthy. That's all I care about. I've yelled at Chris Letang in private, watching the game, and just yelling at him. You suck, all that, but I'll take all that back if it means he has to retire because of a stupid surgery. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes me mad. Because I'm like, no one deserves that. No one deserves to be forced out. But I'd take all the yelling back if that's what happens. If he's like, oh no, guys, I'm like completely fine. I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, time back in. You suck, dude. You need to start learning how to. It's kind of like that. I'm sure everyone can relate if you have a spouse or you're doing that. Like you're arguing about something that doesn't really mean anything, and then you're kind of like something else comes up that's more important. You're like, okay, like time, like we can forget about that thing. Like, let's focus on this thing for a quick second. Yeah. And it's like a non-spoken thing, where it's like,
well, isn't that in like How I Met Your Mother too, where they like time out of fights?
They time in and time. Yes, that is true. Yeah. But but that is true. Like me and Abby do that all the time. Where not all the time, but where we're having like a disagreement or something, and then it becomes something more than just a disagreement. I'm sure I'm sure you guys can relate to that too. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh, actually, you know what? This isn't really important. Like this is like this we can. We have a car that needs $800 worth of work. We should probably focus on. Oh yeah, let's focus on that. That's more important than what we were just talking about. But that's how me and Chris Letang's relationship. He's never met me before in my life, but I'm just saying.
From afar.
But from afar, I feel like we're so close. But yeah, I mean, Josh, this whole episode just became a Chris Letang episode.
I think it did. Unintentionally, because as you pointed out before, this was only supposed to be like a little part of it, and then we're going to talk about the Steve Dangle thing, and then it was always going to be that. We've been talking for an hour, so Josh, what a way to end this weekly episode of That's
just
perfect. That
of
sums
just
it
hey, Hey, this is a Chris Letang episode. Now, I want to end it by saying I like Chris Letang. I do.
Yeah, let's
It's
do appreciation time.
Yeah. It's so easy to look. I am an overweight man in a gaming chair yelling at a professional athlete, a specimen of a human being who's playing the hardest sport in the world, and I'm like, dude, I would have cut off that pass. Which I did feel like Chris Letang in my most recent beer league game. Just want to say. Anyway, but I was like, dude, come on, you can't do that. Now, it's easy to say. It's easy to do that. These guys are human as well. We always have to remind ourselves. I have to remind myself that all the time. These guys they're done after the game. They go home to their wives. They go home and they just go, it's just a game. I get paid to do a game, and I can't win 82 games. I can't do everything right every single shift, but as long as I do the right thing at the right time, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I can't get mad. Look, I have yelled at Evgeny Malkin. If you watch this podcast, you know that I have this love-hate relationship with Evgeny Malkin. But the dude is human. The dude is a phenomenal hockey player. No one could take that away from him. Just like no one could take that away from Chris Letang. He is a phenomenal hockey player, phenomenal person, just a phenomenal Pittsburgh athlete that will be forever remembered in Pittsburgh because of what he has done for the city. Now, that alone should be enough, but he also has the accolades. He also has a lot of points as a defenseman. He also has 3 Stanley Cups, highly regarded. Also donned a Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins jersey, so you got to give him bonus points for that.
True that. Yeah.
But
and let's just he's not officially retired.
Oh no,
have to say that.
We are giving him his flowers.
We're just giving him his flowers. And I mean, one can argue that we would not have these 3 Stanley Cups without him. I mean,
can't do it.
You know, I'm not saying that it's all because of him, but
he had a role to play.
Exactly. And I mean, he will be a forever Penguin. He'll be a part of the Penguin, you know, history lore when it comes to, you know, the back-to-back teams as well as the 08-09 teams, you know, going to the finals in back-to-back years, or going to back-to-back years, winning in 09. So, yeah, he's the guy, okay? Like, he's the man. Next to Crosby, he's the second best looking guy on the team as well. So, always had great flow.
Yeah, makes me sad every time.
Never had a bad thing about Chris Letang whatsoever.
Yeah, every time, I mean every time the Penguins are playing and Abby is walking in and watching, and she goes, "Where's the good-looking one?" I was like, "He's on the bench right now. He'll come out." What's his name? Letang, right? I'm like, yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, don't act like you don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, you know his first and last name. You know where he's from. You love that little French Canadian guy. You love him. But it's just stuff like that where I'm just like, everyone knows who Chris Letang is. Yes, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, the dude is great, and he's not dead. He's not retiring. Just want to say. And we also want to prove to people watching, we could be just as critical, but also just as forgiving. And hey, these guys are human. Who cares? It's sport. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, who honestly cares? At the end of the day, I mean, I don't know how many times I have said this, just playing beer league. Like, if something happens, and I've been in altercations. If you watch our show, you know I have a beer league story. But every episode. But I don't know how many times guys will get angry. You know, I had a teammate throw his stick in anger and hit me in the head, and I literally had to yell at him. I'm like, guys, it's beer league. We paid to be here. We don't even get paid. We pay to be here. Like, relax. It's just a game. Relax. Yeah. Now, I used to get upset until that dawned on me. I pay to be here. It's fine. Things aren't going to go well. I'm overweight. I'm not the best skater. I'm not going to be like Chris Letang out there blocking shots and doing what I need to do. Like, it's as long as you set that bar that low, you're going to be fine. You're going to live just fine. If you think you're going to come out on the ice and you're going to drop 5 goals, yeah, it might be a sucky night when you don't touch the puck. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the end. Chris Letang's a great dude. Chris Letang doesn't deserve to be yelled at all the time. But that's the price you pay when you're a professional athlete as well. There's an edge to a side on every coin. What's the phrase? There's a side to every coin.
There's 2 sides to every coin. There's 2 sides to every coin.
There is, Josh, and I think that's the expression. Whatever it is, because it's listen. I want to give him his flowers because I want to be like, hey, Chris, if you ever watched the show, pay attention to this part because in the season, next season, when you mess up, that's not what you're getting.
Coming after you.
Just know this is the real thing. That is just in the moment hockey, okay? Just remember that. Same thing with you, Malcolm.
True.
Same thing with you. Remember this. Hey, generational talent. Remember that. Hey, I look highly up to you. But if you turn the puck over on the blue line again, you're gonna hear it. You're just gonna hear it. Sid, you do no wrong, buddy. You do no wrong. Keep doing you. All right. But that's what I'm saying. Like in the end, it doesn't really matter. Just like this, Josh. This podcast in the end doesn't really matter. Hey, did we mess up? Did it not work out the way we wanted to? Yeah, but you know
Absolutely.
what, Josh? Who cares? Who cares? I guess we just got to do more content.
That's what next week's for.
Bingo. Speaking of, we are going to be following the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins playoff run. So as of right now, they are finding themselves in the 4th spot. So that means they will play the first round, which is out of 3. And we are going to go live. We are going to go live after every single game that they play in the playoffs. We're going to live tweet. We're going to watch it. We're going to treat it just like the Pittsburgh Penguins. So stay tuned for that. It's on our Twitter, and you can find us on all major social media platforms, not only on Twitter, at Pens Collective. We have a YouTube channel as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that way you know when we go live. We also have a Discord where we have a great fan base. We also do some exclusive stuff for them, and you could join that with the links in our bio. Josh, you want to do some ads? You want to do one ad read?
Sure.
Did you see that subtle?
You want me to do it? Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I've done a lot of talking.
I
I've
thought
done
it
a
was
lot of
rhetorical.
talking. No,
My bad. Yes.
Go ahead.
So this episode, as well as all of our episodes, are brought to you by Rogue Energy. Louie's got the shaker. I got the energy, the powder, whatever you want to call it.
I'm drinking hydration right now.
Nice.
Hydration.
So, as well as energy, they have hydration and they have relaxation.
Nice.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
So go to rogueenergy.com/Pens Collective. Use code TPC10 to get 10% off all of your orders. They have, excuse me, I'm choking.
Don't die.
They have shakers. They have tubs. They have bundles where you can get multiple tubs with a shaker. They run specials where you can get buy one, get one, 50% off. They also have cans. If you like the carbonation of energy drinks, they have those as well. Just please note that they do sell them in 12 packs. 12 packs. They sell those in 12 packs. So they have that as well. They have a wide range of different color options for shakers. So hop on that. I think this is about the year where they do, I think it's about summertime, early summertime, free shaker with any order.
Yeah, I think that is true. Also, just want to add one thing to your ad read here because you said it and something popped up. They also have a free starter kit. You just got to pay for shipping. That's all you got to do. So they have
nice.
a free starter kit. So they give you little pouches. I think it's 5 pouches.
Five packets.
5
Still have
packets.
some of them.
And I think a shaker. It's a starter kit. It's free. All you got to do is pay for shipping, which I think is only like $15. And it comes like that exactly. And all you do is pay for shipping. So when me and Josh were looking at them for partnership, we were like, let's test them out first. And all we did was pay for shipping. They brought it in, and it was great. We wanted to test it before we promoted it, and it was great.
One other thing that I love is that these little packets, they're for sale too. So if you don't know if you want to commit to a full tub of Rocket Pop, for instance, you can go on and sample. You can buy the samples, and this is just a 1 serving of the flavors, and you can try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to waste your money on the full tub and waste all that powder. Now you just have the 1 serving. Oh, not that flavor is not for me. I think you could try same thing. I think you could try up to 5 with the samples, and I think it's like $10 for each for a pack of 5 samples. So
that's a great deal, Josh.
Yeah. So if there's anything that you just want to try, do that first, and then dive into the tubs. That's how I found out about Rocket Pop. That's how.
That's really good flavors. We are not pushing anything on you, seriously, but
yes, we are. Buy Rogue.
buy Rogue. Yes, but I'm saying all the flavors are really good. My favorite now, I think that surpassed strawberry kiwi. Tiger's Blood.
Tiger's Blood.
Tiger's Blood is just so good. Yeah.
The underrated one is Blood Orange.
Yeah.
Underrated.
What's up with the blood? Maybe the blood is just good. Because Blood Orange, Tiger's Blood.
Oh, nice. Okay, I was like, don't know where you're going with that, but yeah.
Well,
fair enough.
Sorry. Also, if this matters to you at all, they're a good old. They're from Wisconsin, so if that helps,
American made.
I mean, American made, baby. So go support Rogue. Go support us at rogueenergy.com/Pens Collective. Use promo code TPC10 for 10% off. Josh, let's end this podcast with word association game. So it's called.
One more time.
Ready? Let's do one, and let's do it good.
Yep.
Okay? Let's end this episode with a bang. 3,
Feeling it.
2, 1.
Cut.
Drink. Don't do this. So we got a drink
In a cup.
and we got a cup. Josh, please read my mind.
Okay, all right, but now here's the thing. Take the ad read out. Okay? Because
You're not reading my mind.
you want to do it? Okay, let's do it.
I was just going to say Rogue Energy. And
because that's the thing. Because that's a brand. That's where I was like, I don't think we could do that. According to the rules of the game.
All right. Didn't know the rules of the game so set in stone. All right. So
I'm a stickler.
So we have a drink and we have a cup.
Yes.
So there's only
That was not planned, but that was so
It wasn't. Okay, ready? I'm scared. 3, 2, 1. Soda.
Water. Soda water. Oh,
All right.
soda
water,
water.
Josh. You ready?
Soda water.
No.
Soda water.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Sparkling
Seltzer water. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Same thing. We got it.
Same thing. We're not
Sparkling
having
water.
a swimming trunk, swimming suit fiasco again.
No, yeah. That's it. We got it. We nailed it. The judges said yes. I'm getting reports that the judges did allow that. Seltzer water is the same thing as sparkling water. Now, I'm 80 years old, apparently. That said seltzer water. But it's okay. Sparkling water. Could not think
That
of
game.
it.
That game is fun. I could play that game for hours.
Maybe we should do that as an opener for every single time. Who
All
knows?
right.
If you like it, leave it in the comments below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Josh, as always.
Let's go, Pens.
It's Crosby. Crosby on Kunitz shot. Penguins win it!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
We're a collective.